Okay, this is Chapter 5, Section 3, the annual percentage yield, or APY. So what we noticed before in the loan is just because you were paying 5% doesn't mean it was actually 5%, because the compounds changed it. So let's go back to a previous problem. What you notice in this problem on page 4 is every single time this was 7%, right? That didn't change. Every single time it was a 6-year loan, and every single time it was $8,000 invested. But the amount that we ended up with was different every time. And that's because it was weekly, monthly, and this one was just an annual one, which means one compound per year. So these compounds are changing the true interest rate paid on an actual year. So this one is actually 7%. Because you're only compounding it once a year. These ones are not, right? It's actually going to be more than 7% because the compounds are going to increase that because you're compounding it more than once a year, right? So APY is per year, right? PY per year or per yield. Okay. So what's really going on here is if you take the balance minus the starting principal dividing by the starting principal, you're going to get the APY. This is the percent change formula. So notice it's 1 year, so essentially you're just changing this to a 1. Take the time to a 1, right? So this becomes a 1 in the formula, right? I kind of screwed that up, right? So what's going to happen is this and this cancels, right? And this over this is a 1, isn't it? Which is the 1. So you get this formula here for APY. So if I have 3 banks, one is Manchester with 1.2% interest, one is Nashua with 1.1, one is Concord with 1.0. It's not actually those as a yearly interest rate, right? Because one is quarterly, one is monthly, one is daily, right? Because it's actually more than that on in an annual basis, right? Those are just the rates they give on the loan, which are not the annual rates, basically. Okay. All right, so let's take the formula here, and I'm going to steal it so I don't have to retype it over and over again. Copy. And we'll paste it down here. And then I'm going to copy and paste it 2 more times, right? So we'll call this one the Manchester, colon. This one will be Nashua, colon. And this last one will be Concord, colon. Okay? Alright, so let's scroll down here and get this over to here. And we'll do equals, 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 right? Alright, so we're going to fill this in. So the rate of the Manchester Bank is 1.2%, so that's 0.012, right? And that's the Manchester Bank. The number of compounds is quarterly, which is 4, because there's 4 quarters in a year, right? Or 4 quarters in a dollar. The Nashua Bank, the interest rate is 1.1, so that's 0.011, right? And you divide by 100. It's compounded monthly, which is 12. Okay. And then the Concord Bank, the rate is 1%, so 0.01. It said compounded daily, which is 365 days in a year, right? Okay, so this will give us the actual annual percentages that we actually are going to pay, which these never work out perfectly. We're going to put an approximate in each one of these. Okay, and then we'll use our spreadsheet for this. Okay, so we're going to go to our spreadsheet. I'm going to add another tab, and we'll name this tab 5-3, and we'll blow this up. So I'm going to do APY. APY equals, and we'll shift that to the right, and we're going to copy, paste, and paste. All right, so this will be Manchester, Nashua, and Concord when we're all done here, right? So we want to put these 3 things in right here. Okay, so equals, parentheses, 1 plus, if I check my formula here, it's 0.012 divided by 4. Right? 0.012 divided by 4, parentheses, right? I think I'm good so far, right? To the 4th power, and then I have to minus 1 from the end, so to the 4th power minus 1. Don't put parentheses around that because the minus 1 does not go with that 4, right? Okay. And that's where we are. That worked. Let's do this 2 more times. So 1 plus, if I look at the natural one, it's 1.1% divided by 12. So 0.011 divided by 12 to the power of 12, again, minus 1 at the end of the formula, right? Don't put the 12 and the 1 in parentheses because they're separate, right? That minus 1 has to happen afterwards, okay? All right, so the last one, Concord Bank, right, is 1 plus 0.01 divided by 365, correct? That's 1% over 365 days to 365, and then minus 1 not in parentheses. Okay? So those are the decimal values. What we need to do is go over to here and take each one of these and times them by 100 equals this one times 100, and this one times 100, right? So what I'm really looking at here when I do these answers out, let's get rid of this here, is 0.012054 dot dot dot. This one is 0.011056 dot dot dot. They keep going. We don't need this many decimal places. 0.01005 dot dot dot. Okay, so what we're actually getting here, if I multiply it by 100, is 1.2054 dot dot percent. Okay, and this one right here, if I multiplied it by 100, would be 1.1056%. Again, it's approximation, right? And then 1.005%. Okay, let's make these orange to signify those are the answers. And the number of decimal places is going to vary. I think they wanted 4 in the Lumen, but don't quote me on that. You'll have to check based on the question it asks and give it accordingly. This is why I picked 4. I guess I picked 3 there, didn't I? I guess we could have gone farther. This one, I guess it's another 0. Not a big deal. Okay, so let's take a look now. So if I get my little pen here, where's my little pen? What you'll notice is the 1.2% didn't turn out that way, right? The 1.1 didn't turn out that way. The 1% didn't turn out that way. Because if you have a bunch of compounds, it's going to make it more costly. Because you're talking about APY, it's on a yearly basis, right? So that's the yearly basis you're actually paying, which is different than the percentage they're saying, you know what I'm saying? Okay, that's the end of part 3.